Hey guys, welcome to this fourth module, and the first topic we are going to learn is introduction to shell scripting. So first let us understand what exactly is shell scripting. So we already saw what is shell. I'll just again brief it to you. A shell is a program which provides an interface between the user and the kernel of the operating system. So as a user, you will be typing in commands, or you will be giving in some type of any kind of a script which you are running, or let's say you are just typing in pwd. So the pwd command is a script running in your system. Pw command will have a script running, so that script is executed. That's why you are getting the result. pwd does not magically give you the present working directory. Obviously there is a background script running. So like that, you will provide some commands. So who will execute that command? The command will first, you're typing it in the terminal and hitting enter. So there should be an interface between the user who is typing it and the kernel which is executing it using the hardware. So the interface between them, the bridge between the user and the kernel, is the shell. So we also discussed various types of shell. We'll look at that as well. So you can see here, OS starts the shell for the user when the user logs into the operating system. So whenever I log into the CentOS 8 right now, which I'm having, whenever I log into that, it will start a shell for me. So I'll just have to open the terminal and start executing the commands. So that's more than enough because it automatically starts the shell for me. So for every single user, it will create a separate shell, and every single user can use that shell to interact with the kernel. So now what is a shell script? Shell script is a file that contains a sequence of commands for a Unix based operating system, which otherwise have to be typed one at a time in the terminal. So let's say we are doing grep and we are searching a pattern in a file. So to do that, we can either use grep or we can just go inside the file and find it out. So which is easier? Grep is easier. Obviously grep is easier because grep is a script file itself, and whenever you type in the command grep and give the options, it basically searches a pattern for you using a script which is running in the background. Now let's say you want to create a file, then add some contents and then find a pattern in that. So now these have you'll have to type in multiple commands to make this possible. So now what you can do, you can type all of these commands in a single file, which is the script file, in a chronological order, in the order of execution. So once you've done that and saved it, you can run the script and the whole process will be done in one go. So you can run this particular script again and again whenever you need it, because once you type the command one by one, you can do it once and again you can do it. Then every single time you'll have to type in the entire commands. Let's say there are 10 commands, you'll have to type the 10 commands again and again every time you want to make this happen. But if you put these 10 commands in a single file and execute that file every single time, you don't need to remember anything. You just need to run that file and the commands will get executed automatically. So that is what a shell script is. It is a sequence of commands for a Unix based operating system. Linux is a Unix based operating system. So yes, shell scripting is applicable to every single Unix or Linux distribution, so which otherwise have to be typed one at a time in the terminal. So this we saw. So moving on. So again, I taught you some shells: bourne shell, corn shell, born again shell, and C shell. So this is bash. The first one is BSH. Second one is C shell, which we also saw as TCSH, 10x CSH, the updated version of the C shell, and then corn shell, KSH, and then finally born again shell. So born again shell is an updated version of the bourne shell. So bash, after once it got updated to bash became the most popularly used shell ever. Bash is defaultly installed in a lot of different Linux distributions. Even in CentOS right now, the CentOS virtual machine which I have is also having bash shell running inside it. So bash is a common shell. You can also install the other shells as well. But right now, as we are going to use bash, so we don't need to remember anything else. Just if you want to learn about other shells, you'll have to look more into each of them, because every single shell has its own capabilities, has its own functionality. Some shells have different commands as well for certain tasks. So you'll have to look into it. So these are the available shells. Now let's see some characteristics of these shells. First, born again shell. So born again shell, the path is bin/sh and sbin/sh. So these are the paths for the bourne shell. Again, bourne shell is also available in CentOS because it is just the updated version of bourne shell. Born again shell is just the updated version of Bourne shell. That means Bourne shell is also installed in CentOS. It is just an updated version, which is bash. So it should be available under the bin directory as bash, and it should be available under the bin directory as sh. If it is sh, it is Bourne shell. If it is bash, it's Born again shell. If it is csh, again according to that. If it is ksh, and it's a con shell. So now default prompt user. So we've seen this as well. So if you are a user, so let's say if you are a normal user, so IntelliPad is a normal user in the virtual machine. So in the Born again shell, you can see this IntelliPad at localhost $. So this is what bash shows you. If it was a Bourne shell, it will just show $. If it was a C shell, it will just show percentage symbol. If it was con shell, it'll again show just $. And bash is a little different. And again, coming to the root user, if you gain super user privileges or you are the root user, you have the hash in front of it. I think you would have noticed this. You will have the hash in front of the users. Before you type in the command, you can see that particular line. You will have a hash at the start. So this is what a root user will have. And again, in bash, it will be in the username at localhost hashtag, and after that you will type in the command. So this is how it will look in Born again shell. Okay, so now we've seen the shells. Now let's get started with working in a shell script. First, let us look at the steps, and then we'll go ahead with the demo. So first, create a shell script by using vi editor. Okay, and then so blank script, then add a shebang header, and then type in some commands to perform and save it. And the file hello script does not have execution permissions. Okay, then chmod +x. Okay, and /home/IntelliPad script to check the present working directory. Okay, so this is what home/IntelliPad script to check the present working directory. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. I'll just see what is ahead. Okay guys, so this is what a shell is. This is what a shell script is. A shell is an interface between the user and the kernel, where you can type in commands or you can run a shell script. So shell script is execution of commands in a sequence, but all those commands are available in a file and you execute that file. And then there are different types of shells. We are going in our particular CentOS system, we have Born again shell, which is bash, and then this is how the prompt looks, the terminal looks. And then right now we'll create a file. So in this session we saw shells and types of shells and how to start with shell scripting. So in the next session we'll do a demo of it.